Today, nationwide protests have erupted, shaking the foundations of President Donald Trump's administration. As tensions rise across the country, Trump is facing a growing wave of public unrest, sparking concerns about the stability of his presidency. What started as small demonstrations have now turned into massive protests, with citizens in every state demanding change. The root cause of the protests stems from Trump's recent controversial decisions. Key among them are his economic policies, particularly the steep tariffs imposed on foreign goods, which many believe are hurting American consumers and businesses. These tariffs have led to price hikes on everyday products, creating a financial burden on working-class Americans. The economic strain has caused widespread dissatisfaction, with protests intensifying in cities such as Washington, D.C., New York, and Los Angeles. In addition to the economic concerns, Trump's recent executive orders and appointments have further fueled public outrage. One of the most contentious decisions was the appointment of Elon Musk to head the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Critics argue that this move is part of a larger effort to push forward policies that benefit corporate interests at the expense of ordinary citizens. Musk's business background, while impressive, has led many to question his ability to effectively manage government functions meant to serve the public. As protests spread across the nation, Trump's administration has struggled to manage the growing crisis. In an attempt to control the narrative, Trump has taken to social media, calling the protests unpatriotic and un-American, but this rhetoric only seems to escalate tensions. His dismissive response to the people's concerns has sparked even more anger, with protesters accusing him of ignoring the voices of the American people. For many, these protests are not just about economic policies, but also about the direction of the country under Trump's leadership. The demonstrations have become a rallying cry for those who feel marginalized, with activists speaking out against what they see as the erosion of civil rights and the weakening of social safety nets. From healthcare to education, the protests are a direct response to the administration's policies that many believe are undermining the progress made in these areas. On the streets, protesters are chanting slogans like "Save our future" and "We will not back down," demanding that their voices be heard. In some cities, the protests have turned into larger movements, with people from different backgrounds uniting in solidarity against Trump's administration. The diversity of the crowds only underscores the broad appeal of the protesters' message. Despite the large scale of these protests, Trump seems determined to stick to his policies. He has doubled down on his stance, insisting that the tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and businesses. However, the growing opposition is making it increasingly difficult for him to maintain his grip on the situation. As the protests continue to gain momentum, Trump's approval rating has begun to dip. Polls show that more Americans are becoming disillusioned with his leadership, especially as the protests reveal a deep divide between the administration and the public. Even some of his former allies are now questioning his approach, with whispers of discontent growing louder within his own party. The protests show no signs of slowing down, and it's unclear how Trump will navigate this challenging moment in his presidency. Will he soften his policies to appease the public, or will he double down and risk further alienating the very people he was elected to serve? One thing is certain: Trump's presidency is at a crossroads. The outcome of these protests will likely play a pivotal role in shaping the future of his administration. As the situation develops, it's clear that the unrest in the streets reflects a much larger discontent with the current state of affairs, and only time will tell how this story unfolds.